Okay, so today we're reading the final section of Beowulf, Beowulf number 6. So make sure you have your study questions for Beowulf number 6. Make sure you have some paper to write your answers on. And I'm going to do the color writing in a separate video as well, so make sure you watch that video for Beowulf 6 writing. Remember, the only thing you need to turn in is your writing. You do not need to turn in the study questions or the answers. You need to keep those in your binder. So we're on page 66, right under the picture. Wiglaf joins Beowulf, who again attacks the dragon single-handed, but the remnant of his sword shatters, and the monster wounds him in the neck. So that's number 1. Where does Beowulf get wounded? And he gets wounded in his neck. There you go. Wiglaf then strikes the dragon, and he and Beowulf together finally succeed in killing the beast. So they killed the dragon. Their triumph is short-lived, however, because Beowulf's wound proves to be mortal. So what does this word mortal mean? It means deadly. So Beowulf is going to die because of the wound on his neck. Okay, we don't need anything else on that page or the next page, so we're going to go to the top of page 68. So they do defeat the dragon. So Beowulf's dagger, his iron blade, had finished the fire-spitting terror. So right here, fire-spitting terror. Who is that referring to? That's referring to the dragon. Sorry, let me get it up there. It's referring to the dragon. And then it says that once protected tower and treasures alike, the gray-bearded Lord of the Geats had ended those flying, burning raids forever. So the gray-bearded Lord of the Geats is referring to who? And that's referring to Beowulf, of course. And it's just saying that Beowulf had killed the dragon with Wiglaf's help. So dragon is dead. Alright, we're going to skip down to line 805. Beowulf says, now remember, he has a wound in his neck, so these are kind of his final words. He says, "For this gold, these jewels, I thank our Father in heaven, ruler of the earth, for all of this that his grace has given me." So who is Beowulf thanking in his final words? That's number 4. He's thanking God. And what number 5, what values are reflected in this speech? Those are Christian values. So there's 4 and 5. He's thanking God, and what kind of values? They're Christian values. So there's 4 and 5 for you. All right, continue. "Allowed me to bring to my people while breath still came to my lips. I sold my life for this treasure, and I sold it well. Take what I leave, Wiglaf. Lead my people. Help them. My time is gone." So he just said, take what I lead, Wiglaf. Lead them. So keep that in mind as we keep reading. What is he probably going to do for Wiglaf? "Have the brave Geats build me a tomb when the funeral flames have burned me, and build it here at the water's edge, high on the spit of land, so sailors can see this tower." So if you have a tower built on the water's edge, he just said the water's edge, so sailors can see it. What kind of tower is that? If it's on the water's edge, so sailors can see it. It's a lighthouse. So what did he just ask them to do? He asked them to build a tower, a lighthouse, on the edge of shore, so that sailors would see it and not crash into the shore. So that's number 6. How will Beowulf continue to help his people even after his death? He is going to have his tomb be a lighthouse, so sailors can see it and not crash into shore. So he's still thinking about his people and others. Even after his death, or even in his last moments of life, he still wants to protect people and make sure that they're safe. So that's how he's going to continue to help people. Okay. All right, line 815. "Here at the water's edge, high on the spit of land, so sailors can see this tower, and remember my name, and call it Beowulf's Tower. And the boats in the darkness and mist crossing the sea will know it." Then that brave king gave the golden necklace from around his throat to Wiglaf, gave him his gold-covered helmet and his rings and his mail shirt, and ordered him to use them well. So what did Beowulf just give to Wiglaf? He just gave him his armor and his rings. And what does that suggest is going to happen to Wiglaf? What's going to be in Wiglaf's future? He's going to become king. So there's number 7. Beowulf gives him his armor and his rings. And this suggests that Wiglaf will be the next king of the Geats. Why do you think he chose Wiglaf as the new king? because he was the only one that was loyal to Beowulf and helped him fight. Alright, so we're going to go to the top of page 69. So Beowulf spoke his final words. We just read that Beowulf spoke his final words. And so at the top of page 69, I'm trying to get my camera situated. There we go. It just says, left his flesh flew to glory. So Beowulf has died. He's passed away. And when the battle was over, Beowulf's followers came out of the woods, cowards and traitors. So when they knew that the dragon was dead, those men that ran away have come out. And now Wiglaf is, of course, going to yell at them. So right here, this is line 847. And then Wiglaf turned and angrily told them what men without courage must hear. Wroxton's brave son stared at the traitors, his heart sorrowful, and said what he had to. So he's about to yell at them and tell them what they deserve. Now remember, he's the new king of the Geats, so he pretty much can do whatever he wants to them. He says, I say what anyone who speaks the truth must say. Too few of his warriors remembered to come when our Lord faced death alone. And now the giving of swords and golden rings and rich estates is over, ended for you and everyone who shares your blood. So I'm going to read that again. And now the giving of swords, of golden rings, and rich estates is over, ended for you and everyone who shares your blood. So it's not just a consequence for them, but their bloodline, everyone that shares their blood, so their family. And when the brave Geats hear how you bolted and ran, none of your race will have anything left but their lives. And death would be better for them all and for you than the kind of life you can lead branded with disgrace. So he's saying you're going to have such a horrible life being, made fun of for not helping Beowulf and dishonored for not helping him, that death would be better than the kind of life you're going to live. So who or what did these men betray? They betrayed Beowulf, so that's number 8. They betrayed Beowulf because they did not come and help him when he needed them the most. And then number 9, what does Wiglaf say is going to happen to these men because of their honor, or because of their dishonor, because of what they did? He says they're going to be banished and dishonored and disgraced for their actions. He said he's not going to kill them. He's going to banish them and everybody that shares their blood, because he said that's going to be more painful than death, because you're going to have to live with the shame that you did not help your king. So he's not going to kill them. Okay. All right, next page. Last page. Yay. So Beowulf asked them to build this tower, this lighthouse for him as his tombstone, as his memorial. And so that's what this section is going to be about, is them building this tower for Beowulf. So we're on page 70 at the very, very top. It says Morning Beowulf. It says, then the Geats built the tower as Beowulf had asked, strong and tall so sailors can find it from far and wide. Working for 10 long days, they made his monument. So how long did it take them to build his tower? It took 10 days. Now that's obviously remarkably fast, especially given the fact that this was, hundreds of years ago. So obviously that's some fiction there that we've got going on. Sealed his ashes in walls as straight and high as wise and willing hands could raise them. So they decided to put Beowulf's ashes in the walls, probably in like the paste that they used to put the bricks together. They probably put his ashes in that. And they did that because, of course, it is his memorial. So they built him into it so he would be a part of it. So there's number 11. His ashes are built into the walls of the lighthouse. So that's number 11. Okay. And the riches he and Wiglaf had won from the dragon, rings, necklaces, ancient hammered armor, all the treasure they'd taken were left there too. Silver and jewels buried in the sandy ground, back in the earth again and forever hidden and useless to men. So what do they do with the dragon's tower? It's buried under the lighthouse. So why do you think that they buried the treasure under the lighthouse? And that would be for 2 reasons. One, because it's Beowulf's treasure. He died trying to get it. So so it rightfully belongs to him. And then another reason is because if they leave the treasure out, they might start arguing among themselves and saying, hey, I deserve this treasure, no, I deserve this treasure, and it could start a fight, it could start a war. So rather than risking any of that, they decide just to bury it under the lighthouse where it belongs with Beowulf. So we can already see that Wiglaf is being a good king by making these decisions concerning Beowulf's memorial and the treasure that he died getting. So that's the end of Beowulf. Yay, we're finished. So once again, make sure you keep your study questions and your answers in your binder. All you need to turn in is your color writing, so you're going to need to make sure you watch the video that's called Beowulf 6 Writing so that you can get that done and turn that in today. If you have any questions, please come see me. Thank you.